have the Dewey Decimal number for Harry Potter on my back.
What?
Yeah, it's... Show you.
Oh my god, look at that. It's amazing.
I had some shitty asshole threaten to leak nude photos of me when I was still a librarian, and it's like, okay, well, how could I just do a nude photo shoot anyway? I'm a librarian. They're not gonna fucking care. Librarians are freedom fighters who will fight for your right to access and consume information. They're not gonna get mad about this. They can't. So whatever. So I did a nude photo shoot that I really loved, and I released that, and you can't let the fucking cat out of the bag twice, can you? So go ahead and threaten to leak the naked photos of me. Here, want some more? Fuck off. Right up until I started doing porn, I had a lot of shame about sexuality and my body, and I had been modeling since I was 18, and I hadn't even done like lingerie or swimsuit modeling until I was 21. I had a lot of shit to get over, and then I decided I'm gonna take this gig that I found on Craigslist. It's hardcore bondage. It seems like it's kind of porn, but it's like not naked or anything, and the girls are smiling. So I'm gonna face my fear, and I'm gonna try this, because I thought the porn industry seemed really abusive, and probably all those girls are victims anyway. But if that's the case, why do they all seem so happy? So maybe I'm wrong? So I decided to do my first ever technically adult shoot and challenged all of my expectations and realized, wow, I was real wrong about a whole lot of stuff. Just kind of facing that fear, I took it step by step. Then I started doing like some nude stuff, and then I did nude bondage stuff, and then I was like, well, this is basically kind of porn anyway, so let's just go all the way. Let's go move to Los Angeles and do the porno for real now. And yeah, that was, porn was something that challenged a lot of my fears in a lot of ways.
You might be the only porn star with a TED Talk.
I think I might be. I don't know. Several years ago, if you asked me, I would tell you I would much rather just fuck someone on stage than have to talk to people. Because when you're doing porn, it's just sort of, it's between you and another person, or a few people, I don't know, whatever. And there's other people in the room, but they're doing their best to be invisible. And when you're talking to a big room full of people, like, they're just right there in front of you, and it's intimidating. Like, if you fuck up, you've got a bunch of people who will immediately be aware of it. If you fuck up on a porn set, they cut and they start over, and they don't care. Like, whatever. We're seeing so many more cam models now. I think that some people actually do it because they want to feel like they have power over their body. They want to feel like they're the ones in control. We see so many more female executives, so many more female directors, so many more women who are running their own businesses. You're not just going to set to shoot, get a check, and leave. You're a brand manager, you're a marketer, you're a director, you do lighting, you do editing, you're the talent also, obviously. You do so much, and you have to diversify a lot, and that is very powerful. But you mentioned the female empowerment of porn. I've never in any other job had people sort of insistently ask me, well, how does this empower you? Because people have a lot of shame around porn and around watching porn, and they have this need to sort of justify it by telling themselves like, oh, but this is really empowering for them, it's fine. Nobody asked their fucking barista, like, is this very empowering for you? I was never asked as a librarian, like, do you feel super empowered checking these books out right now? Like, it's something that we almost uniquely project onto sex workers because we need it to be empowering for them to challenge our ideas that they're probably just victims anyway. Yes, it's empowering. It's a job. We make money. We support ourselves. That's fucking power. It's something that I find very, very common as a sex worker, that people need me to quell their own concerns that they have with themselves by reminding them that, like, it's not just work. It's also like some performative feminism. Like, it's a job. Sure, you can find feminism in it, you can find empowerment in it, but like, you can find that in a lot of places. Just let me do my fucking job, you know? I'm pretty much always either working or on camera or both. I have a little VR robot camera in my living room that's on 24 hours a day. I do an hour-long broadcast every night in my studio, and I'm working always. So I really don't see my friends that much, which is a bummer. I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons in like 2 months. Well, I don't see people a lot. Most of my friendships are online at this point.
Is that fulfilling?
It is. It is. When it comes to social interaction, previously it was primarily based on geographic proximity. Like, you're friends with the people around you because they're the people who are around you, right? And now with the internet and with social media, I think a lot of relationships, even if you never meet face to face in meet space, you are connected through many more like mutual interests and shared experiences that you wouldn't necessarily have with the people that are just in proximity to you. And I think that that can lead to deeper, more compelling friendships. So my co-founder and I created the first ever live VR webcam platform. So I'm the world's first VR camgirl. And a real driving factor behind that was the fact that loneliness has serious physiological impacts on someone's life. I read a study, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, that implied that loneliness can be as bad for your health as smoking cigarettes. And we are increasingly more isolated. I think that having an experience where you can feel human connection, where you can talk to someone, where you can feel a sense of like reciprocal interest is something that can be very positive for people in their lives. Okay.
So, because you know sex robots, right?
Yes. So I work for PVR.fun. It's an adult VR headset. We're sharing a booth with a company called Miss Doll, and they do incredibly realistic replicas of porn stars. And I got to see them for the first time yesterday. It's uncanny. It's so cool. And they offered to make one of me just as a one-off so I could have it. So I could stick it in the front seat and drive in the HOV lane, I guess. I don't know. Have this weird humanoid in my house forever that I'm paying rent on. They serve a really good purpose for the people who desire them. For a lot of people, something like that can fill a void or a need that is going to bring them a lot of fulfillment and diminish their loneliness and give them an outlet that is just right for them. I don't think something like that is going to replace human interaction or sex. I think that we've been doing that for a very long time and we're not going to stop. But I think that it can be supplemental. I've actually, I went to a dinner party once where there were two people who had very deep, passionate relationships with dolls. And one of the guys showed me photos of his wife, and she was a doll, and she was his wife, and that's what was right for him. And it was an unusual experience, but I would never want to diminish someone else's thing that makes them happy and gives them, you know, joy. Mm-hmm. Librarians are amazing. Like, they serve a community. For people with master's degrees, they make, on average, about 10 to 15 grand less than the average job that requires a master's degree. These people are doing it because they love it and they believe in what they do. They believe in free access of information. They believe in giving people the right to learn and to consume information. Intellectual freedom is something that is paramount to librarians, and librarians have gone to fucking jail for your right to consume information. The FBI even noted that radical militant librarians were making their jobs really hard when they came into libraries and demanded patron records and lists of people who've checked out certain books, and librarians were like, actually shove it. No, we're not doing that. Like, how fucking punk rock is that? Like, that's amazing. So, yeah.